Okay, students, very warm welcome to Oliveboard.com. Just give me a moment. Just a small little thing that I have to ensure. Okay. Okay. Fine. Great. So, hello aspirants. So, very warm welcome to Oliveboard.com. This is Rohan Dange, your faculty for economy and finance. Right. Hello aspirants. So what we want to say or what we want to discuss in today's lecture is MCQs based on poverty. Now, this is a very dynamic topic, and this is a topic which is relevant for every year. Okay. Why? Because RBI in RBI grade B, you will have invariably questions on poverty. Right. So let's begin our discussion on the same. Okay. So this is topic 3, poverty. Let's take a look at the first MCQ today. Consider the following. Poverty estimation in India is carried out by Niti Aayog's task force through the calculation of poverty line. Poverty line based on the data captured by National Sample Survey Office under the Ministry of Human Resource. Third, poverty line estimation in India is based on the consumption expenditure and not on the income levels. Okay. Thank you, Abhay. Thank you for the compliments. So, okay. Which of the statements are correct? If you have studied your concepts regarding poverty, then you would know the correct answer. What do you think is the correct answer? Poverty estimation in India is carried out by Niti Aayog's task force through the calculation of poverty line. Poverty line based on the data captured by is based on the data captured by the National Sample Survey Office under the Ministry of Human Resource. Poverty line estimation in India is based on the consumption expenditure and not on the income levels. So what do you think is the correct answer? Which of the statements is or are correct? Option number A, only one. Option number B, 1 and 3. Option number C, 2 only. Option number D, all of the above. What do you think is the correct answer, boys and girls? I'll give you about 10 to 15 seconds to answer. So Dipanshu says it is B, which is 1 and 3. I'll wait for others also to answer. Nihar says it is C. Abhay says it is B. Vaishali feels it is B. Nihar is correcting his answer and saying it is B. Devojit Paul also is saying it's B. So yes, the correct answer indeed is B. Statement number 1, poverty estimation in India is indeed carried out by Niti Aayog's task force. Right. Statement number 3 is also correct because poverty line estimation in India is based on consumption expenditure and it is not based on the income levels. Right. Whereas statement number 2, you need to understand one thing, that it is not the Ministry of Human Resource, it is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay. So statement 2 is incorrect. Therefore, answer is B. Right. Poverty line is based on the data captured by National Sample Survey Office under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Moving forward, statement number 2. Good evening, Manjot. So consider the following statements. The incidence of poverty is measured by the poverty ratio, which is the ratio of the number of poor to the total population expressed as a percentage. It is also known as the head count ratio. Second, Alag Committee in 1979 determined a poverty line based on minimum daily requirement of 2400 and 2100 calories for an adult in a rural and urban areas, right? Which of the statements given are, is or are correct, right? So I'll wait for your answers. This is a very easy question, in fact. Even if you have even if you have given a cursory glance to the chapter of poverty, you would be able to answer this. Dipanshu is saying it is C. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. Vaishali is saying it is C. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Abhay is saying it is C. Manjot is also saying both are correct, 1 and 2. So as I said, Aniket is also saying C. Debojit is of the opinion that A is correct. Okay. So moving forward, so all of you, most of you are correct because you're saying it is C, both 1 and 2. It is one of the easiest questions which could be asked, right? So the incidence of poverty is measured by the poverty ratio, which is the ratio of the number of poor to the total population expressed as a percentage. It is therefore known as a head count ratio. So यहाँ पे अभी आपको करना क्या है? You just have to, if you have not, if you don't know about the answer, then at least write down the definition of head count ratio here. And it is indeed the YK Alag committee which determined a poverty line based on minimum daily requirement of 2400 and 2100 calories, right? So this was a fairly easy question. Now state question number 3, again a very straightforward question, but therefore could be, such kind of questions could be asked as 2 markers in RBI grade B. The Lakdawala committee, Tendulkar committee, Rangarajan committee did the estimate of hunger, right? And statement number 2, as per the Rangarajan committee report 2014, the poverty line is estimated as monthly per capita expenditure of rupees 1407 in urban areas and rupees 972 in rural areas. Okay. So what do you think is the correct answer? The Lakdawala committee, Tendulkar committee, Rangarajan committee did the estimate of hunger, right? Statement number 2, as per the Rangarajan committee report, the poverty line is estimated as monthly per capita expenditure of rupees 1407 in urban areas and rupees 972 in rural areas. What do you think is the correct answer, boys and girls? Waiting for your answer. Aniket is saying it is A, one only. Vaishali feels it is D, neither one nor two. Dipanshu Khatri says it is D. Manjot is asking a question whether it is B or not. Well, Manjot, that is for you to answer. We will eventually find out in a while. Right, Nilesh, hello. You can also answer the question. So I'll wait for another 10 seconds for your responses, and after that we will move on with the explanation and the answer. Both the options are right there on your screens. You can definitely take your pick. So moving forward, Vishal feels it is D, neither one nor two. Manjot has a slight, is speculating that the answer is B. So yes, the answer is B. You need to understand that Lakdawala committee, Tendulkar committee and Rangarajan committee did poverty estimation. What was mentioned here? Estimation of hunger. So obviously it is not estimation of hunger, but it is poverty estimation, right? So it is wordplay. At RBI grade B, you can be rest assured that even wordplay can trick you into giving the answers wrongly, right? Therefore, I feel that you should be very, very confident while giving answers, and for that, attention to detail is very important, right? Here attention, the question was all about attention to detail. It is not estimate of hunger, it is estimate of poverty. Everything else in both the statements is correct. So I hope you have taken your note. Okay, question number 4, which among the following can be considered as the cause or causes of poverty? First, social, economic and political inequality. Second is social inclusion. Third is unemployment. Fourth is indebtedness. Fifth is unequal distribution of wealth. Select the correct option from the below quotes. 1, 2, 3 and 4. B is 2, 3, 4 and 5. C is 1, 3, 4 and 5. And D is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So which of the following do you think can be considered as the causes of poverty? Right? Social, economic and political inequality. Social inclusion. Third, unemployment. Fourth, indebtedness. Fifth, unequal distribution of wealth. What do you think is the correct answer? I feel this is a very straightforward question, but still, these are low hanging fruits at RBI because you can easily get 2 markers out of such questions. So, boys and girls, what do you think is the correct answer for this? Vishal, Aniket, Manjot, Ranjita, all of them feel that the answer is C. Okay. So let us understand. Let us see what is the correct answer. Debojit also feels the answer is C. So let's see what's the correct answer now. Okay. So moving forward, we see that answer is indeed C. See, here also we talked about word play here. It is not social inclusion, it is the word play, the word correct term should have been social exclusion, right? Social exclusion also leads to poverty in India. We have caste differences in the country, and these differences are actually socially exclusionary. They follow the principle of social exclusion, and as a result of that, a lot of people in our country, they sink into poverty. Okay, so the answer, instead of social inclusion, it should have been social exclusion, right? So the correct answer is C, 1, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so obviously I have given you the definition. It means exclusion from the prevailing social system and its rights and privileges, typically as a result of poverty or a fact of belonging to a minority social group. Which of the following, question number 5, which of the following is a method to measure relative poverty? Okay. Dipanshu feels that social inclusion is work of state and central government by three different efforts. Yeah, the states and the central government can definitely target social inclusion by coming out with program schemes and policies like Aadhaar number or Jandhan Yojana or Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana and many other such schemes, right? Which could catalyze social inclusion. So you're correct. For 5, Nilesh feels the answer is A. Aniket feels the answer is C. Ranjita feels it is Gini coefficient, which is A. Debojit also feels it is A. Gini coefficient. Dipanchu Khatri feels it is C, which is both A and B. And Manjot feels also it is C, which is both A and B. So which of the following is a to method to measure relative poverty? Vishal feels it is A. Vaishali also feels it is A. Okay. So let's see which is the correct answer. The answer is in fact C, which is both A and B. It is the Gini coefficient and also the Lorentz curve, which can be used to estimate or to measure relative poverty. Okay. So relative poverty refers to income inequality where high income groups have more share than low income groups. So if you take a look at the definitions of Gini coefficient and Lorentz curve, you would feel that both are used as a method to measure relative poverty, right? So for this, boys and girls, you must understand the definitions of these technical terms like Gini coefficient and Lorentz curve. We have talked about Gini coefficient and Lorentz curve in the previous lectures as well. You could go through the slides and you can download the PDFs to find out more about such curves, right? So question number 6, which of the following is the nodal ministry to identify below poverty line families in urban areas? Which of the following is the nodal ministry to identify BPL families in urban areas? This could be asked as a one marker. Okay, this could be asked as a one marker in either in phase 1 or even in phase 2. Which of the following is the nodal ministry to identify BPL families in urban areas? Vishal feels it is A, which is Ministry of Economic Affairs. Devojit Paul feels it is B. Dipanshu feels it is C. Manjot B. Aniket C. Nilesh C. Shivangi C. Ranjita B. Vaishali C. So which is the nodal ministry to identify people families in urban areas? Okay, it is the Ministry of Housing and Poverty Alleviation. So all of you who have given the answer as C are correct. So Krupal and Sagar, you will have to read more about the ministry. But as of now, it is the Ministry of Housing and Poverty Alleviation, indeed, which is the ministry used to identify BPL families in urban areas. Okay. So what the question is very important. Here we are asking about the BPL families in urban areas. Now for you, the home assignment is also find out whether you how do you identify BPL families in rural areas. Okay, please find out which ministry is charged with the responsibility of for identifying BPL families in rural areas. Okay, so the answer is obviously C. It is the Ministry of Housing and Poverty Alleviation. Question number 7, again a very easy question. could be asked as a one marker. Which scheme was started in 1993 to create self-employment opportunities for educated unemployed youth in rural areas and small towns? Which scheme was started in 1993 to create self-employment opportunities for educated unemployed youth in rural areas and small towns? A. Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. B. National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. C. Rural Employment Generation Program. D. Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana. What do you think is the correct answer? Nilesh feels it is C. Manjot feels it is A. Aniket feels it is D. Krupal and Vaishali feel it is A. So what do you think is the correct answer? See, before I give you the correct answer, you must realize that when it comes to poverty and employment, the government schemes which have been initiated in the last 20 to 30 years are generally asked, right? So which are I'm not asking you to go into the details of every scheme, but at least you should know which schemes have been initiated by the government in the last 20 to 30 years for the alleviation of poverty and creation of employment. Sagar feels it is D, Ranjita feels it is A. So let's see what's the correct answer. The correct answer is indeed A. It is a Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. So I'm sorry, this should have been Pradhan Mantri and not Prime Minister. So if because of the wrong wordings, if you have gotten the answer wrong, then it is apologies. It is on my behalf. It is if you have gotten the answer wrong because of the words Prime Minister, then it is my fault, and I profusely want to apologize for that. Okay, but anyways, the answer is C. A for Ahmedabad. Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana or PMRY is a central government initiative which aims to provide self-employment opportunities to educated youth who are unemployed. The scheme was launched in 1993. It offers the unemployed loan to 10 lakh youth and women. Okay, so the correct answer is A. Now, what I want you to do is, how do you exactly prepare for RBI Grade B? Do one thing. When it comes to topics like poverty, or when it comes to topic like employment creation, try to just see the number of and the names of all the schemes which have been launched by the government, that is the central government, in the last 25 to 30 years, because RBI will ask you a question on the same. Okay, so be very well aware of that. Just make a list. Okay, and then you can see under which ministries they were launched, right? So first you have to find out the names of the schemes, right? You have to find out their abbreviations also. Second, under which ministry are they or were they launched? Third, what are the benefits of the scheme, right? And fourth, who are the eligible beneficiaries? Okay, you find out these four things. This is how you study for RBI grade B, right? You don't have to study much, but you have to study properly to crack this exam. And once you do it, it's fairly easy to crack this exam. So find out the schemes, find out under which ministries they were launched, their benefits and their eventual beneficiaries. Okay, so anyways, moving forward with question number 8, right? Again, a one marker which could be asked in phase 1 or could be asked in phase 2 also. Who are considered as the poorest of the poor? Scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, disaster struck people, women, female, infants and old people, right? Who do you think, right? यहाँ पे आपको क्या लगता है? What do you think? Who are considered as the poorest of the poor in our country? What do you think? It's a one marker, but it's a very, what you can say, confusing question. Shivangi feels it is C. Krupal feels it is B. Manjot feels it is ST, that is B. Nilesh B. Ranjita D. Sri Lakshmi C. Dipanshu D. Krupal B. Sagar D. Pratik Sinha D. Saurabh B. Shivangi C. Agnik B. Aniket D. Sagar D. So what do you think is the correct answer to this? It's a fairly interesting question, isn't it? Because we feel that it is generally the scheduled tribes who are the poorest of the poor. But the answer is D. It is females, women, that is infants and old people, who are considered as the poorest of the poor, right? They are systematically denied equal access to resources available in the family. See, even if, like, why are they considered as poorest of the poor? See, if you are living in a poor family and if you are a woman, okay, then you are the poorest of the poor, because even in a poor families, the small amount of money, whatever money that the family has, that will be spent by the man, right? So a woman will be rendered as the poorest of the poor. And the same goes for infants, because obviously the infants don't have any decision making ability and they are dependents. So amongst the poor families, it is these people who are the poorest of the poor. Now how do you eliminate here, right? uh, Scheduled caste may, you will see that a lot of scheduled caste persons, they are also well to do. Scheduled tribes persons are also well to do sometimes, right? So it is not necessary that they can be considered as the poorest of the poor. But if you're talking about a poor family, then if you are a female, an infant, or an old person who is a dependent, then you are considered to be the poorest of the poor, right? So Anjali, what you can do is to find out the SBI PO batch, you can go to our website or you can download our app, and you can get the relevant information regarding SBI PO notification and the courses which we have launched. Okay. Question number 9. Which of the following is not a valid reason for the poverty alleviation programs in India? Right? Which of the following is not a valid reason for the poverty alleviation programs in India? Lack of proper implementation, lack of right targeting, corruption at the highest level, overlapping of schemes. Which of the following is not a valid reason for the poverty alleviation programs in India? Right? Lack of proper implementation, lack of right targeting, corruption at the highest level, overlapping of schemes. Okay. So, of course, the answer is straightforward. The answer is D, overlapping of schemes. This is not a valid reason for poverty alleviation programs in India. Everywhere else, you see lack of proper implementation, lack of right targeting, and corruption at the highest levels are correct. It is D, which is incorrect. So, all of you are correct. Ranjita, Dipanshu, Aniket, Vaishali, Saurabh, Nilesh, all of you are correct. Question number 10. The calorie requirement is higher in rural areas because they do not enjoy as much as people in the urban areas. B. Food items are expensive. C. They are engaged in mental work. D. People are engaged in physical labor. What do you think is the correct answer? The calorie requirement is higher in rural areas. Why do you think it is? So I'll wait for another 10 seconds. It's a very easy question. Could be asked as a one marker. And trust me, what you can see here is that it can be solved with common sense and logic as well. So what I want to tell you here is that RBI grade B, you can solve a lot of questions by using your mental aptitude, by using your common sense, and so therefore developing exam temperament is very easy. And how do you develop exam temperament? You develop exam temperament by solving as many MCQs as possible. So I myself here as Rohan Dange, I am doing my best to give you a sample of MCQs. But if you subscribe to our courses, you will get a lot of such MCQs and you will be actually solving them in exam environment. Trust me, boys and girls, it is your exam solving capacity and capability which will allow you to ace this exam. Right? You don't have to read a lot, but you have to solve a lot. Okay. So this is just a trailer. Okay. So, but of course, I will be dealing with a lot of hot button areas and a lot of what you can say target areas when it comes to MCQs, right? So anyways, the calorie requirement is higher in the rural areas because people are engaged in physical labor. Whereas in the urban areas, people have mostly a comfortable life and therefore the calorie requirement is less, right? Yes, Dipanshu, you are absolutely correct. So question number 11, consider the following statements. The Indira Awas Yojana program aims at providing free housing to below poverty line. Second, main targets would be the household of BPL farmers, right? Which of the following statements is or are incorrect? One only, two only, C both, and D none, right? So what do you think is the correct answer? The Indira Awas Yojana program aims at providing free housing to below poverty line people. Second, main targets would be the households of BPL farmers. Which of the following statements are incorrect? So Appa Sahib feels it is B, Vaishali feels it is A, Aniket feels it is B, Sri Lakshmi feels it is B, Manjot feels it is B. Nilesh feels it is B. Dipanshu feels it is C. Right? But Dipanshu has definitely revised his answer and says it is B. Saurabh feels it is D. So of course, which of the following statements, which of the statements are incorrect? What is asked is incorrect, and therefore statement. Let's see the answer. Answer is B. Right? Statement 2 is incorrect. The Indira Awas Yojana program aims at providing free housing to below poverty line families in rural areas, and the main target should be the households of SC and STs and not the farmers. राइट क्वेश्चन में क्या दिया हुआ था, फार्मर्स दिया हुआ था, तो फार्मर्स गलत हो जाएगा. सो यहां से इस क्वेश्चन से आपको क्या पता चलता है? ये शिवांगी यू आर ऑल्सो करेक्ट, निर्मल यू आर ऑल्सो करेक्ट. ओके, हमें ये पता चलता है दैट एलिजिबिलिटी इज ऑल्सो आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम. व्हाई हैव आई गिवन दिस क्वेश्चन टू यू? For you to realize that even eligibility is asked in the exam, right? So you will be asked schemes, and you will also be asked the eligibility criteria in those schemes, right? So all the major schemes that we are providing in our documents, please read about them. You will be rest assured that it is more than enough, and we are covering all the bases in our documents once you subscribe to our courses. Moving forward, question number 12. Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. The main objective of the scheme continues to be: first, generation of wage employment; second, creation of durable economic infrastructure in rural areas; third, fulfillment of daily requirement of 2400 calories for an adult in rural areas; and fourth, provision of food and nutrition security for the poor. Which of the following is not correct? What is the question? Which of the following is not correct? Okay, so please find out the answer. Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. The main objective of the scheme continues to be the generation of wage employment, creation of durable economic infrastructure in rural areas, fulfillment of daily requirement of 2400 calories for an adult in rural areas, and provision of food and nutrition security for the poor. Which of the following is not correct? Only one, 1 and 3, 3 only, D, all of the above. Ranjita feels it is C, Aniket feels it is C, Dipanshu feels it is C. Which of the following is not correct? Okay. So the main objective of the scheme continues to be generation of wage employment, creation of durable economic infrastructure in rural areas, and provision of food, nutrition, and security to the poor. So of course, option number C, that is fulfillment of daily requirement of 2400 calories for an adult in rural areas, is not one of the objectives, right? So the correct answer is C. So Sagar, Sri Lakshmi, Nirmal, Manjot, Ranjita, Dipanshu, Aniket, all of you are absolutely correct. Nilesh, you are also correct. The answer is C, that is 3 only, right? So here, objectives of the scheme should also be noted down by you. Okay, so such schemes are absolutely very critical and absolutely very important. So find out more about such schemes. Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana, right, is very important. Likewise, the Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana is also very important. So today's assignment is you find out about Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, apart from of course Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana, right? Moving on, question number 13. The Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. It will focus on: first, fresh entrants to the money market; second, class 10th and class 12th dropouts; third, only SCs and STs. Which of the following is or are correct? 3 only, 2 and 3, 2 only, D, all of the above. What do you think is the correct answer for the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, which is targeted towards skill development? Okay. So it will focus on which category of people? Fresh entrants to the money market, class 10th and 12th dropouts, only SCs and STs. So which of the following is correct? A, 3 only; B, 2 and 3; C, 2 only; D, all of the above. What do you think is the correct answer, boys and girls? Which of the following is correct? Sagar feels it is C, Shubham feels it is B, Vaishali feels it is B, Manjot feels it is A, Dipanshu feels it is C, Saurabh feels it is A, Aniket Lande feels it is C, Nilesh feels it is C, right? So what do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer is C, two only, that is class 10th and 12th dropouts, right? So Sagar, you are absolutely correct. Dipanshu, you are absolutely correct. Aniket, Nilesh, you are absolutely correct, right? The Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana will focus on the fresh entrants to the labor market and not the money market, especially the labor market and class 10th and 12th dropouts, right? So yes, Shubham and Soumya both are correct. The answer is C. Moving forward, which of the following programs was launched in the year 2000? National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So this should be Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. C. Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana. D. Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Which of the following programs was launched in the year 2000? National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. So which of the following programs was launched in the year 2000? Aniket feels it is D, that is Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Soumya feels it is C. Okay, Soumya, I think, and Ranjita feels it is A, which is National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Okay, Ranjita feels it is A. Aniket feels it is D. Shubham feels it is C. So Nilesh A, Soumya A, Sagar A, Manjot A, Mahesh C. Okay. So this is a very simple question. Could be asked for a one marker. See, year of launch of any scheme is also important. अब यहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा सा मेमोराइज करने की जरूरत रहेगी. So kindly don't complain. There are some things that one has to memorize, right? Not everything is based on rational logic and thinking, but some things you have to commit them to your memory, right? So the correct answer is D. It is Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. The Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana was launched in 2000-2001 to achieve sustainable human development at the village level. Right. Fine. So last question of the day. Over the years, the government has been following approaches to reduce poverty in India. Right. First, growth oriented development. Second, specific poverty alleviation programs. And third, meeting the minimum needs of the poor. Right. So which of the following or which of the above are the approaches or the approach used to reduce poverty in India? A 1 only, B 2 only, C 1 and 3 only, D 1, 2 and 3. So Nilesh feels that the answer is D. Right. So this kind of question is certainly based on your understanding of the subject. So the more you read the notes given at Oliveboard, the more you realize that your overall understanding of the subject will improve by leaps and bounds. Okay. Manjot feels the answer is all, that is 1, 2 and 3. Mahesh and Vaishali and Ranjita, Shubham, Nilesh, all of them feel the answer is D. Okay, so let's see what's the right answer. Shall I wait for another 10 seconds for the participants to respond? Sri Lakshmi feels it is D, Soumya feels it is D, Aniket feels it is D. Okay, Kajal feels it is D, that is all. So the answer is indeed D. It was a very easy question. But trust me, such easy questions are also asked as 2 markers in RBI grade B. Right. So as per the India Public Policy Report, overcoming poverty in India requires a context-specific multi-pronged strategy that includes a basic needs approach, a human rights entitlement approach, a natural resource management approach, and a focus on inclusive economic growth. Very, very important. Right. So, boys and girls, what have we learned today? When it comes to a chapter like poverty, you should read about the Rangarajan Committee report. You should read about the Lakdawala Committee. You should read about the YK Alak Committee, right? You should read about the SR Hashim Committee report, right? You should read about the Tendulkar report, right? So these 6 or 7 reports you should study. Apart from that, you should read about the poverty elevation of the programs which have been launched in the last 25 to 30 years. Now, in these poverty alleviation programs, what do you have to read? You have to talk about the name of the scheme, the year of launch of the scheme, the objectives of the scheme, the beneficiaries of the scheme, right? And you will also have to find out under which ministry is the scheme launched. So these are the details that you have to find out. Okay, so apart from the 6 7 committees that I've spoken about, you should also talk about, or you should also find about these particular aspects of a government scheme, right? Of course, in our courses at Olive Board, we will be giving you all such information, and our notes are more than enough to cover these dimensions, right? So if you want to understand, or if you want to fast track your preparation for RBI Grade B, we have a RBI Grade B Learn Pack, which is mostly centered around full length mock test for phase 1, full length mock test for phase 2, sectional test, topic test, and monthly current affairs, right? Manju, the RBI Grade B notification is expected in December, and the exam is going to be held on expected lines in either in January or February. And 3 weeks after that, there would be phase 2 also. This is the current expectation, and I think that we are well on path. So we have a RBI Grade B complete package also. Right. So we have recorded classes on each chapter on ESI, finance and management in our complete course. Revision live classes on descriptive English paper, important current affairs, exam strategy sessions, past year exam analysis, live practice sessions and everything. Correct. So we have a learn pack and we have a grade B complete package. You could go to our website and subscribe. You could you could definitely download our app from the Play Store, right? And meanwhile, these live sessions are also coming up. We are coming up with a lot of free resources for you on our YouTube channel as well. So do like, subscribe, and share. Right. In the meanwhile, this is Rohan Dange signing off from oliveboard.com. Till the time we meet next, keep revising, keep learning, and also keep practicing social distancing. Stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you. Good night.